Thanks for joining us on the main conversation on Enterprise TV. We are happy to let you know how things are happening currently in the country, and today the topic is about the main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party. The PDP has criticized the Federal Capital Territory Administration (FCTA) task force for sealing off its national headquarters in Abuja over unpaid ground rent. At about 2:06 p.m. on Monday, the FCTA task force shut down multiple facilities, including the PDP National Secretariat at Wuse Zone 5, citing non-payment of ground rent. The action sparked outrage within the PDP, with its acting national chairman Umar Damagum labeling it an act of irresponsibility by the federal government. Speaking after a national caucus meeting in Abuja, Damagum condemned the closure in strong terms. A senior PDP member who spoke anonymously due to lack of authorization, the FCT had earlier warned it would begin enforcing takeovers of 4,794 properties revoked over ground rent defaults spanning between 10 and 43 years, totaling 6.96 billion naira in unpaid dues. The senior special assistant on public communication and social media to the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, Larry Olayinka, defended the sealing of the secretariat, stressing it was a legal and not political action. To help us dissect this issue, very tensious and sensitive one, I still have with me John Akerele joining us from Japan. At this time of the day, John must have spent a lot of his morning. Japan is the land of the rising sun. And here in Lagos, right in the studio, Barrister Ivan Sufeli. John, let's start with you. I have a question. Is this an accident or a coincidence that Minister Nyesom Wike, openly romancing with the APC government, an acclaimed member of the PDP, in these days of rebuilding strong camp towards 2027, that's the next, that's the agenda on the burner, in this period, is Minister Wike helping the PDP to stand, or helping them, in the words of President Tinubu, to be a deeper sinking ship? Is it an accident? Is it a coincidence? What's happening there, John?
Thank you very much. Let me say good morning to all of our viewers all over the world, and good morning to Barrister Evans in the studio and your humble self.
Thank you.
Let's look at this issue. It is a political party. And before he takes appointment, I think that the party have their constitution. In a case where an opposition party wants to give you, an appointment, what are the laid-down procedures that you should do? Okay. The party that answer such area. Yeah. The question now is, did Wike follow this protocol? If yes, then he has nothing to do with that. But the other thing again is, if you have been appointed by somebody, it means that you must deliver on the assignment that has been given to you. Yeah. Because one thing is pertinent, your name will be on record. Yeah. During the time of John, as a main indication, these are the things that he did. They might not remember the president, but they remember you as a serving minister. But for me again, that is why I'll go to the area where I stayed. Let's build strong institutions and not strong people. I will ask you this question. APC under Buhari at
John, you are breaking.
So from the can you hear me?
Yeah, you are breaking. If you are not smooth, maybe we come back to you. Come again. You said APC under President Muhammadu Buhari.
I said APC on President Muhammadu Buhari at 8 years. And in that 8 years, there was a serving minister of the FCT.
Yeah.
Now, did the serving minister of the FCT during the 8 years raise this issue of ground rent to PDP in the past 8 years? If the answer is no, then that is why some people have the school of thought that this thing is political. So for me, let's not mix politics and the real issue. Is PDP as a party, they have a structure. The structure is in Abuja. Are there land use or tenement rate that they should pay to the Abuja government? If yes, have they paid? If the answer is no, they've not paid, then they should pay.
Okay.
Because already they get money from their members, they have money for nomination funds and all the right. So there's no reason why they ought not to pay. Now the second point why people are saying this is political is because Wike is a PDP member, and before the election 2023, he has been working categorically against Alhaji Atiku Abubakar even after the election. And so people are still saying him that he's still very much active in that capacity of bringing down PDP. But on this case of the setting up of the headquarters, my question to them is PDP actually owing? And if yes, then it means that on this call, Wike has got a yes for me and not a no.
Okay, thank you. Your takeaway there is during the Buhari administration, there was no direct, let's use the word, winch hunting of the PDP. And then we should look at stronger institutions more than strong individuals. And so I'll come to Barrister Ofeli, institution, individual. The individual at the head of the PDP right now is Damagum. I want to ask, because it's tactical, it's strategic. There was supposed to be a caucus meeting of the PDP NEC. Now that meeting has ended abruptly. Whatever Minister Nyesom Wike has done is achieved because the PDP couldn't sit to strategize, and I'm sure the number one thing on their agenda is their opposition, the APC, whatever angle they are coming from. So, two questions. At this time, of course, Damagum has condemned the Secretariat seal-off. So, I want to look at the person of Damagum and the institution of the PDP. Barrister, help us. Is Damagum to you now, in this critical time, the most capable person to take PDP out of this quagmire? And then two, is the PDP really alive and living or going down?
Yeah, before I come to your question, let me just add to what John said, talking about whether they are owing, and if they are owing, have they paid? And if they have not paid, why haven't they paid? Okay, the PDP have come out to explain that the way the property was acquired, that they were unable to get the right documents from the previous owner before they acquired it. So they had a problem with the documents that evidence ownership.
Okay.
And that those documents are required for submission whilst you are paying for ground rent, renewal and all that. So the PDP said they had problem with that they are still working on resolving that. It's not mainly the problem of the money, but that the documentations that they are still having problem with the previous owner and themselves, and the regularization of their documents, which they will do, and they are on it.
That's not taking such a long time for a party?
No, that's the explanation. I just want to add to, so that we can have a complete information.
Okay.
Then also, whether Damagu is someone who seems to have, first, he's the acting chairman of the PDP. Two, he has been in the party for so long a time. Damagu is not known for cross-carpeting up and down. Been in that party for so long a time. By assumption, because assumption is the first form of knowledge. By assumption, I think he has the capacity. He has shown leadership. Notwithstanding the fact that the party is almost like on life support now. Because
Did you mean life support?
Yes, because the more they try to congregate to give the party a breath, the more the party is losing its members. My friend, Shegu Showumi, is, the front liner in the political party, okay? And I've seen him going around the country, trying to beg his own people, not even to bring more people into the party, but to let his own people know about it, to keep the party alive. But the more he goes around, the more they are losing membership. Just 2 days ago, the governor of Akwa Ibom State threatened his own cabinet that they should either resign or defect with him to APC. In Delta State, the governor, deputy governor, the former governor, the MS school members, and a huge chunk of the leadership of the PDP all moved to the APC. More political parties are going to move to the APC. Zendigbo, they're endorsing Tinubu for second term. So many institutions, persons, and authorities, they are, nobody knows where the attraction is coming from and all that. Everybody is endorsing.
Do you mean attraction?
Yeah, attraction rather.
Nobody knows where it's coming from.
Where exactly is it coming from?
It's coming from incumbency.
So we're just watching and seeing how the country is gradually sloping into a one-party state. For the kind of politics that Tinubu plays mystical politics. Yes, he will take you unawares, and for the first time you can see that a Nigerian president that have led for 2 years has turned the country into a jamboree of politicking. Because Tinubu does not know leadership. He doesn't know how to do leadership and remain in governance. What he understands is the science of politics. So you see that even the 2 years he has stayed, he's playing politics with it. What he understands is politics all the way. Not governance.
Administration.
No. It's scheming, politics. Look at, I've never seen a Nigerian president who was sworn into office in 2 years, who was getting all his policies wrong. And under 2 years, after 2 years, everybody is endorsing him for another 4 years. It has not happened before.
They say Tinubu is a master strategist.
That's what I'm saying. So he has introduced a new kind of political climate.
What's your take that before a mid-term report for people to assess, everybody are endorsing him? What did they see?
That is what I'm saying. What did they see? Is a man who is not really interested in governance. His interest is politics, politicking. Now he has almost captured.
To possess authority.
He has almost captured the entire stratosphere
of Nigeria.
Yeah, with a strategy to return. Now my question is, when he returns, he will have no legal authority to contest again.
Yeah.
So what is he going to be doing? Is he now going to govern at that time, or is he going to politic for a successor? Because what we have seen in the past 2 years is not governance. What we have seen is somersault in policies,
real politics,
wrong politicking, and all that. And people are saying, and he is saying that the decisions he has taken so far is for the betterment of Nigeria in the future and not for now. And another analyst now said, before we get to that future, we would have all died. That your decisions and your policies should feed us, give us allowance to live as humans before we see the future. Because the way you are going, telling us that the policy is far-reaching for the betterment of tomorrow and all that. We need to live today to live tomorrow.
You know, they say it's only those who are alive that can testify
about the future.
Yes, and a living dog is better than a dead lion. I'll come to you, John. The APC in 2013, 2014, 2015 emerged. Plenty of horse trading, coalition, cross-carpeting, concessions, and then they are where they are today. It's on record, the APC is the first party that defeated an incumbent party. So my question for you is, every fortress has its soft underbelly if you know where to look. That's James Hadley Chase, his book, The Vulture is a Patient Bird. I think Amo Shalik made that comment then. So the APC knew the soft underbelly of that PDP that couldn't be capitulated across 16 years on their journey to the Cinderella 60 years. But the APC saw their soft underbelly. And the defeat, the decline of the PDP, the decline of Labour Party, the decline of opposition is the strength of today's APC. So, John, if Nigerians are getting hopeless, if you don't like the APC, you almost cannot see an option to take away this government that people want to live to see that future. So, John, I put it to you now. Can another party, another coalition, another group of individuals not see a soft underbelly in this APC as well? The way the APC saw that of the PDP and toppled it. What should people do to stand up? I mean, measure, coalition, whatever. What should they do to stand up to this APC so that Nigeria's option in a multi-party system can be sustained?
Thank you very much. I think what they should do first is to look at some of the grievances across the length and breadth of the country in terms of power sharing and see that they have a formula that can balance that, that lacuna. Some people feel like the North, have spent more time in the presidency. Some feel like the South. And so if you understand the calculation very well, that can give you a projection into 2027 so that when it comes to the sentiment of zoning, you are there. When it comes to the region, the zone that should have power, you are there. When it comes to a political party that have a good structure on ground, you have it. When it comes to a candidate that is coming with good policy and you're sure that this guy is very competent, you have it. So these are some of the areas that I think they should look out for. Now for me, I fear for APC. And my fear is that every Tom, Dick and Harry is decamping into APC. Maybe they should go and ask the PDP, how did that mighty lion start to decay from within? Where are the likes of Aregbesola of APC today? And if you understand what Aregbesola is in APC, the role he played in Agege and Southwest of Lagos, you understand that he's somebody that cannot just be pushed under the carpet. In Alimosho area, you look at someone like Amechi. So there are other people within the political structure who are not in agreement with the present APC as it stands. Now, get all of these people. Coalition for me is good. What is APC? APC is ANPP, MPP, ACN coming together
CPC
to form a political party. CPC inclusive. So there are about 4 or 5 different parties coming together to form APC. That is coalition. So it means that they understood the strength of PDP as the power of incumbent. And for them to bring this down, they must have every warring factions to come as one. You understand? So for me, coalition, for me, get a candidate that you know that will settle the issue of Southern presidency. Get a candidate that you know that is competent and is good. Get him a vice from the North that is also very popular, articulate, competent, and can deliver on the job. So you have these 2 tickets, Southern presidential candidate, a Northern vice president. That is a good joker that can be played in 2027 and that can still defeat APC hands down. The next thing that we should now pressure the National Assembly to do before 2027 is our electoral reform. In our constitution today, we don't have independent candidacy. We don't have that. And our political class understand that if all of those things should find their way into the Electoral Act and their independent candidacy, and then in the political party, the structure of political party will do what? Will die automatically. So it means like you yourself, like I said, want to contest. As a civil candidate, you can go to INEC, apply and then run on your own without having somebody who will influence your decisions. Without having somebody who will tell you to get contracts from you. Perhaps somebody will send you billions to facilitate your electioneering, because the way our electoral system is built up in corruption. For you to get to contest for presidency, you must get 100 million naira only to buy form. Then ask yourself, how much more will you have to invest into becoming a president of the country? So it means that we are taking so much money in our electoral process, and so those reforms would help us, bring down that cost of, electioneering, bring down the cost of governance, and the people can go into office with about 200,000 naira. Then you are sure that nobody can give you billions, because you don't even need the billions in the first place. That's one. Two is that the transmission of electoral results should be mandatory to be immediately from the polling unit.
You mean it
should be? Which means that if you are casting your vote,
it should be live.
Live, real time. And the third one is that there should be a synchronization of all means of identification. For instance, if you have a driver's license, you have a BVN, you have NIN, with that, you should be able to verify your identity on the voters register and you be able to cast your vote, either you have a voter's card or not. So these are things that we can do to make it easier for people, to vote. Then the last but not the least is making sure that people can vote using technology. For instance, if you are using a bank, let's say AX Bank, and you have an ATM, you can go to JK Bank, put your ATM there and still withdraw money, even though that's not the same bank with the same ATM.
Okay.
If that technology can work in Nigeria, how come that technology cannot work by way of casting your vote electronically?
Oh, okay.
I cannot use your ATM, without permission. So with that case, we can also have that real-time voting on the go, and everybody can vote from the comfort of their homes, their offices, and they are fine.
Thank you, John. So much robust point you've made. I think an INEC person who watched this has gotten a lot of deep strategies for free.
Yeah.
Barrister, I'm coming to you on the legal front. I have two questions for you. One, we can agree today that the recent strength of the APC stems from mass defection.
Yes.
And stronger defections because it is governors that are involved. Mm-hmm. And from your legal standpoint, the laws, there are laws around defection for senators. Mm-hmm. Is it time Nigeria's constitution contemplates laws around defection for governors?
Yes, because we already have judicial precedents for governors. It's just that it has not been accentuated.
Okay.
Rotimi Amechi versus Celestino Meya and INEC
in Rivers State.
The Supreme Court said that it is political parties that win or lose elections. Okay? And because Amechi was substituted in that process and all the surrounding wire that went around it, the court delivered a judgment that he won the election, even though they did not contest that election. Even though they have amended...
Because the party won.
Yes. Even though they have amended the Electoral Act that now you cannot become a governor except you participate through the entire process. But it was that Amechi case that inspired that amendment in 2010. Now, when you are sponsored by a political party and you win election as a governor, you cannot midway switch allegiance, because the vote that made you a governor, it is the political party that got it. And so the political party instigated your victory.
Okay.
And it's still on record that the political party owns those votes that gave you victory. So you cannot midway then pull up on that political party and join another. That is case law.
A defeated party.
Yes, case law. Case law. A party that was defeated in the polls, you now pull yourself away. So even though we don't have a constitutional provision to that effect, or a provision in the Electoral Act to that effect, we have a case law.
Is that binding?
Yes, case laws are binding there. They're binding.
And then governors are still... Do you know
hold
that?
on. You have to go and enforce. It's not self-executory.
Okay.
So somebody will have to go to court and cite that authority.
Okay.
And say on the strength of that authority, because you can't switch allegiance just like that. Because for lawmakers, you have it in the Constitution, Section 69, Section 109, for federal and state respectively. It's better they say the only reason you can do that is if there's problem in your party, and from the center down the party cannot hold, you cannot resolve, you can move. But in the case of the governor, you don't have anything except for that case law. Because in law, what you do in law is you use what is available to fight your case. You don't have judicial, you don't have statutory provisions. You use judicial precedent. You understand?
Something that has happened before.
Yeah, so that is what can be used. Okay, against the governor of Delta State, against the Akwa Ibom governor, all the governors who are defected. Then for the lawmakers, the laws are already there. Get on board, file cases against them. Because I like what Damagu said, that they are going to challenge that of Delta State. Because they made a press conference then, that they will challenge that of Delta State in court. And that is the right thing to do. That is what... Then I called on the political party that I'm willing to join the legal team to fight that, even though I'm not a party member. But that it is wrong, we did not send them to do what they are doing. It is self-serving. They should not drag their hands into whatever it is they have done, because it is just that they have turned the resources of the state to their own personal enterprise.
Okay, so my second question is this. We cannot make laws on this table, in this station. What do you think in a situation where there is a law outrightly banning defection, whether your party is on fire or not? I think Governor Oborewori Sheriff, the Delta Governor, Pastor Umo in Akwa Ibom. Why I'm raising this point is I see that the PDP right now is a party that is not falling, but is leaning. And leaning towards the APC. You could wake up, you hear Governor Withdrawn of Plateau, possibly to broker federal favors and peace, or Governor Mba of Enugu. Can there be a law outrightly to defect means to reject that party, to denounce that party, and yet you carry the benefits of office into the next place? Can there be a law that says any elected politician, local government chairman, governor, assembly, federal president, who defects is free? Because our constitution allows for freedom of association. You are free. But all the benefits, all the paraphernalia of offices, you will lose them and go and start from scratch. Can they? What do you think of such a law?
The law can only be conditional. Okay, the law that will deal with defection can only be conditional. You cannot.
My point is too harsh.
No, what I'm saying is you cannot make it absolute, because in the same constitution we have freedom of association. Okay, so that freedom of association, you have the exception ordinarily will be that you need to show there is dispute in your party. You need to show.
No, leave this. If there is dispute, solve it.
That's what I'm saying. So, on the point of law, okay, for that of governors, they need to include the fact that it is a party that won that election, and the party owns the victory.
Yes. That
you are only a representative
of the
party, flag bearer of the party, and so it should be impossible for you to switch allegiance, because
to switch allegiance with all these benefits.
Yeah, with the benefits, you shouldn't do that.
You can switch freedom of association.
Yes,
but you are just an individual beneficiary in the party.
Yes. So by the time you switch, the party will have a right to pick someone
and replace you.
To replace you.
And by then there will be no need to switch.
There will be no need. That's what I'm saying. So there must be a law, and that law should be very firm. Nobody wants to lose his seat as a governor.
Exactly.
You understand? So when we have that, they will take caution. But because there's nothing like that, everybody is throwing caution to the wind. You just woke up one morning. Not only are you defecting, you are threatening other people.
Okay,
John, democracy.
John, let me come to you. We are wrapping up in 60 seconds. I said in a platform that Pastor Omoeno, that comment is not autocratic. That comment is fascist. Lots of people don't know Benito Mussolini in 1922, a First World War ally of the dreaded Adolf Hitler. You know, so in fascism, he has said it clearly. It's in the media and on TV that he has nothing to negotiate with them. They either follow him or lose it. So in this instance, John, in 60 seconds, what do you say of, he has said the law shouldn't be absolute. What do you say, as you defect, you lose your, move, you want to move, leave everything.
My brother, I've said it before. I said, let's build strong institutions and not strong people. Maybe they should remind Pastor Eno that a few years ago, he was only a candidate and a contested primary on behalf of the PDP. And it shows to you that Nigeria is a country where there are no consequences, no accountability, no consequences for actions, no consequences for inactions. And these are the things that we must take to the table. For what you do, there was the consequences for all of your actions. Now, if people are voting, remember, check your ballot paper. Do you see Pastor Eno? Do you see names? You see logo of parties. You see umbrella. You see broom. You see chicken. You see cap. Those are symbols of the political party, which means people voted for the political party. And you are now a vector. You understand? Of the party. Now, if you want to associate with anybody, it's okay. Then you have to leave that which the mandate people gave to the party. Because it's to the party. You can't tell me that people who voted for PDP in Calabar are being in Akwa Ibom State now. You know, that now you have moved to APC. What becomes of their vote? What comes from their interest? Those that voted at the National Assembly to represent their constituency, who will the constituent talk to? At that point in time, then you can ask yourself, of whose allegiance are they representing? Is it truly the people of their constituents or the governor?
Okay, so you support this law.
And in that case, it's
so we want to take sides and wrap up. Do you support such a law? Okay, good. So, Barrister, you've already answered in this
law. You need your feet.
Okay, thank you, Barrister. You seem to be a concerned party. As we wrap up, in 2 minutes, is there hope for the PDP as the main opposition party?
Well, there's hope for the PDP, but that hope must come from discipline. What is left of the party now? The leadership of the party must take a drastic decision as to how they'll have the party resuscitated.
Okay.
The APC is not doing well as a political party.
Yes.
So that is the much reason why the PDP would have constructively used its own model, propaganda and all that. Follow what the APC did when they were in opposition.
Exactly.
Because the PDP, the reason they took Jonathan down was flimsy things like corruption under his government and that he's too weak. That's all.
Insecurity.
Not that the people were not... Nigerians were gainfully employed at that time. People were feeding proper. Things were not as bad as this. If things were not as bad as this and they were able to take down PDP, now that things are like this, it should be easier to take down APC.
But look at defections and
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The PDP have not played opposition. If they had played proper opposition, we will not have all these defections. They started very well. But the APC knocked, what's his name? Their spokesperson then, the one that was charged together with...
Secondus?
No, that was charged together with, what's his name? Under the Jonathan, that corruption money went around all of them. He was charged together with Dasuki. Olisametu.
Okay.
Started very well as the opposition spokesperson of the opposition. Then, before that charge came, he lost it, became sick and so many things. Then Olagbodio, the other man, came on board, did so well to a point, he's no longer there. From that time till now, apart from Peter Obi, who is not a member of the PDP, that is doing opposition today, the PDP have no viable spokesperson on opposition. None. Look at what the APC did under Lai Mohammed. A special office every day. Every day there's one or two things that is wrong about PDP that they are condemning and pulling the party down. At the end of the day, they succeeded in doing that. Today, they have done worse things than the PDP did then. Nigerians are in agony now. Serious agony. Okay? And you see people defecting there.
Okay, there's much we can take today. Thank you, John Akerele. Thank you, Barrister Ivan Sufeli.
My pleasure.
Two of them have told volunteered strategies to the PDP. Have yourselves organized. Deal with members who are true to the party. And then go out there and pick holes with what the APC ought to be doing well that they are not doing. And campaign. Tell Nigerians the right messages. And your friend, what did you call him? The one going around?
Shegu
Showumi. As he goes around, whoever defects is their loss. Stick to your creed and carry out the message. Because the Nigerian masses in a multi-party system are not to be strapped in as regards option. That's the mandate, the PDP, whatever coalition that are emerging as opposition owes Nigerians. Enterprise TV main conversation ends here, but you can follow us on all our social media platform on Enterprise TV 7. My name is Innocent Aduluba, and we are saying until we come your way again, on behalf of, I'm standing in for main anchor Henry Igwebike, who has taken a break at this time, but he will be joining us again. Have a great day. God bless Nigeria.